All right, are you ready? Get your pen and paper and jot things down. I do understand that sometimes it's not easy to just listen and grasp as much information as possible. Some people need visual information. I'm not great at editing videos. If not, I would have inserted it in this video. But do let me know if you need like a visual representation, and I might just make like a flowchart situation to just give you this information. Yes. Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Faith, and if you are new to my channel, you are very welcome. I gained a few subscribers since my last video, and I am grateful that you clicked that button. And if you are a returning subscriber, hello, welcome back, and I'm happy to see you today. I'm here to continue a series I have recently started, and just for clarification purposes, the UK has put pharmacists on the shortage occupation list. And what does this mean? Okay, so there are many vacancies in the UK for pharmacists now, and there are not enough professionals to fill this. So how does the UK putting pharmacists on the shortage occupation list help this situation? So it mainly means that if employers want to put pharmacists on tier 2 visas, which is a visa that would allow you to work in the UK as a non-UK national, then it's an easier process for them. So normally they would need to advertise a position for at least a month, and in that month period, any resident of the UK that applies, even if they have the least of the qualifications, they are still put as priority over you that you've probably blown the minds of the employers. So yeah, that's that. And then there's also the threshold of the salary that you need to earn for the employer to be able to hire you. So this discourages a few employers from employing overseas qualified pharmacists or pharmacists who require tier 2 work visas. So taking away these two limitations makes it easier for employers to employ people that require tier 2 visas. And on having a tier 2 visa, you would, after 5 years, be able to apply for indefinite leave to remain in the UK. After 12 months of holding an indefinite leave to remain, you would be qualified to apply for a British nationality or British passport or British citizenship. So I hope this clarifies all the questions on how does the shortage occupation list help this situation. Right, so I'm just going to give a few disclaimers before I go straight into this video on the process of transition and the process of transferring your qualification and your practice from Nigeria to the UK. So the first disclaimer is that I am a community pharmacist. So everything I say today will be said from a community pharmacist point of view. I am not claiming to understand fully everything that goes on in all the other career paths or all the other fields of pharmacy, but I have said in the previous video, and I'm saying it again, that I will be able to find out this information if you do require them. I have friends who work in this field, so I can ask them questions and bring the answers back to you. So the second disclaimer is that I have just been recovering from a cold, so I am a little bit nasally, so just ignore my voice, okay? And the third thing is that today is the 2nd of April 2021, and all the information I'm giving is correct as of today. And if you do find this video in the future and you need to use it, or you need some information here, please make sure that you go and 100% verify that it is still applicable as of when you find this video. So yeah, without further ado, let's just go straight into the video. So today I'm here to talk about the process. How do you come over? How do you take your qualification and just come? You have a Bpharm. How do you want to just go to the UK? So I'm telling you everything about how to just get yourself into the UK system as a pharmacy professional, because I did get a lot of how do you questions. So yeah, this is the process. So before you practice in the UK as a pharmacist, you would need to do a qualification training. Now, this should not be foreign to us healthcare professionals, because you know that practice in different places, different countries, and even in countries like America, practice in different states differ. So you need to ensure that you understand to a good extent practice in the system that you are going to work in. So this training just gives you the opportunity to learn as much as possible within a year, in theory, what goes on in the UK in terms of pharmacy practice. So this training is called OSPAP. So it's an overseas qualification, and the information I will be giving today is gotten from the University of Brighton website on entry requirements for the OSPAP training course. So if I'll be putting a link down below in the information section, you can click on this link and it will take you straight to their page, and then you can read all the information for yourself. So the OSPAP is a training that has been accredited by the General Pharmaceutical Council for certain universities to offer to overseas qualified pharmacists to be able to come into the UK. So you don't always have to be qualified to be able to get on this OSPAP training. You can either be a fresh graduate or you can be qualified. So only very few universities offer this OSPAP training, and I will list these universities in the information section below. Now this might have changed in a few years time, so make sure you double check that for yourself as well. So only very few universities offer the OSPAP training, one of which is University of Brighton, and I will be using their information in this video. So to be able to get on the OSPAP, you first of all need to take your qualification and take your portfolio to the General Pharmaceutical Council. If you are not already a qualified pharmacist, you have to have graduated no more than 6 years ago. The second thing is that if you are already qualified, you need to have a robust portfolio. And I believe that this does not mean that you have to have graduated 6 years ago. If you've graduated more than 6 years ago and you are already qualified, or if you've graduated less than 6 years ago and you are already qualified, you need to have a portfolio. So you need to find out more information on this portfolio on the GPHC website. If I have any more information, I will put that in the comment section or address it in a different video. So your portfolio just needs to show that you have been continuing your professional development. So you didn't just stop at university, you graduated and you did your trainings and you qualified, and even while practicing you are still enhancing your clinical skills, your professional skills, your communication skills, as many skills as it requires for you to be a pharmacist. So in the UK, we are required to do continuing professional development, so CPDs. So you need to have different CPD cycles, I would believe, and this could be anything from reflection on an episode of learning that you have had, or reflection on something that happened in practice that you have learned from, or it could be just an intended training that you went to just to enhance your skills, or it could be just something that you decided to do that you feel like has now added to the skills that you have as a pharmacist. So as much information as you can put in your portfolio as a qualified pharmacy professional, you can do, just to show the GPHC that yes, I am qualified and I have been practicing and I am still developing myself even after all this time. So yes, once you have done this, the GPHC will then need to approve your qualification, of which I believe 100% and Nigeria's Bpharm program is approved, and they will also need to approve your portfolio, and you also need to have at least your pharmacy results at least a 2-1 or above. I don't know if any universities at this time take anyone that has anything less than a 2-1. So a 2-1 is suitable, or anything above a 2-1 is suitable as well. So once all of this has been approved by the General Pharmaceutical Council, then you can apply for the OSPAP training. So to get onto the OSPAP training at the University of Brighton, as at this very point in time, there are a few other things you need to do. So you need to do an IELTS exam. So IELTS is IELTS, and it is an English language proficiency test that includes assessment of your reading skills, your speaking skills, your listening skills, and your writing skills. And for Brighton University, you need to get at least a 7 out of a 9 on each of these different aspects in one sitting. That's right, they said one sitting, you can only do it once. So yes, before you go and do your IELTS, you want to make sure that you have prepared. Don't be too confident in your English language. Prepare. I don't even know how to say the word. Prepare. Make sure that you are going in all guns blazing and you are coming out with that 7, all 4 of them. All right. So the next thing is that you would have to sit a calculations test. So I don't think the calculations test should be that difficult. If you manage to pass pharmacy in Nigeria, I don't think your calculations test should be difficult. But again, I would advise you not to be overly confident and make sure you prepare. So you need to get at least 40% in this calculations test, and that is one of the requirements for you to gain admission onto the OSPAP training course. Once you've received your offer, then you will need to prepare a satisfactory health check. So you need to go to your hospital and do a full health check and just present a report to the university. And you also need to present a DBS check. So it's a disclosure barring service, I believe that's what it stands for. A DBS check from the police that just shows that you have no criminal records that will prevent you from entering the UK. Once you've gotten your offer of admission to the OSPAP and you've satisfied everything that needs to be satisfied, then you need to apply for a tier 4 student visa to come into the UK. Right, so these are all the things you need to do to get onto the OSPAP training. So OSPAP is for 1 year, and at the moment the course costs, I think, about 16,000, between 16,000 and 17,000 for the year. So once you've gotten onto the course, you know that you are one step in. So once you've done the course, towards the end of your OSPAP course, you want to start applying for pre-registration training places. Pre-registration training, you would be offered a tier 2 work visa. So that's your journey to pretty much naturalization or getting an indefinite leave to remain. So pre-registration training is when you shadow a pharmacy professional and then you just learn based on the competencies that the GPHC has set out. Whilst you are doing your pre-registration training, you will be earning. So basically after your first year on your OSPAP, you have started making money. So though you would not be earning as much as you would as a qualified registered professional, but the money you are earning is sustainable, is enough for you to live on in that first year of your training. So pre-registration training students or pre-registration pharmacists earn anywhere from £18,000 to 23 or 24,000 pounds, depending on where you have gone to do your training. So this is enough money for you to live on for 1 year, and then once you qualify, your earnings will significantly increase. Once you've achieved these competencies in your year of training, practicing, you would need to sit the GPHC registration exam. So once you have sat your exam and you have passed, then you would become a licensed pharmacy professional in the UK. Right, so it does not stop here. My advice is that before you complete your pre-registration training, so in the last few months of that, you want to start applying for jobs. So you would apply for jobs, and I would recommend places that are hard to fill, so like the outskirts of the UK, or places that are a bit far from like the central areas, because a lot of people do not want to go there, so you have less competition, and a lot of pharmacies in those areas would offer you a tier 2 visa. So it's easier now to get the tier 2 visa, but again, for the sake of less competition and the ease of getting these jobs, you want to make sure that you have done your research about the place you're applying to, you have done your research about the company, make sure that they do offer the visa, and apply. Make sure you have prepared yourself to the best of your ability and that you get this job. A lot of places are willing to give jobs despite the fact that you've not sat your qualification exam. So they will offer you a job, and then once you've passed your exam, then you can resume working. Recently, they have brought on this scheme of provisional registration. So you can either be provisionally registered. I don't know how long this will last, but they've been doing this during the coronavirus pandemic. So I won't say too much on that. But what I would say is make sure you get a job offer in place before you sit your exam, and make sure that you are prepared for that exam, because you only have 3 sittings. And after failing the first sitting, you would not need to do any further training in practice for your second sitting. But bearing in mind that you're on a work visa, I would recommend passing it in your first sitting if you can. If you don't pass it in your first sitting, then you can take it the second time. If you don't pass it the second time around, then you will have to do some more training in practice. So you will need to find somewhere that would hire you for some time so that you can still be in practice and shadowing somebody. And then if you don't pass it on your third try, then that is it. You can't practice in the UK as a registered pharmacy professional. I would try and look for advice on what else you can do if you've managed to sit your exam 3 times and not passed it. So I would refer to that in a subsequent video because I've had a few questions about that. But yes, for now, what I'm going to say is you have 3 sittings, and if you do not pass it on those 3, you are unable to practice. But the best advice would be to pass it on the first sitting, or worst case scenario, the second sitting, especially because you hold a visa, and it would even be more financially demanding for you to have to remain in the UK and try to write exams. And it will also be just demanding on the fact that you may not have a visa that extends for the period of time that you're waiting to sit the exam, because the exam happens only twice a year. Right. So once you have qualified, then you get a job. So from when you get your pre-registration place, you would be on a tier 2 visa. So your tier 2 visa is your work visa, and once you've been on a tier 2 visa for 5 years, you are eligible then to apply for an indefinite leave to remain in the UK. After holding an indefinite leave to remain for 12 months, you are eligible then to apply for UK citizenship or British passport. So yeah, that's the process. That is the full process from a community pharmacist point of view, and I hope it is informative enough, and I hope it gives you as much information as you may desire. We'll put some links below, like I said, so if you want some more information, you might be able to find them in these links that I have listed below. So this is the full process from my point of view, and the next video I'm making will be what it really is like to work as a community pharmacist in the UK. What does it entail? What your pre-reg year is like in community pharmacy, and what the day-to-day life of a pharmacist professional is like. So if you would like to know more about that, please stay tuned. So yes, subscribe, click the notification button so you can be notified when I upload a video, and share this video if you feel like you know someone that needs to see it. I'm going to link this video in my Twitter, so if you're here from my Twitter account, then hi, because I saw you guys share that video a lot, and I'm so grateful that you did. But yes, thank you so much for watching this video. Like, comment and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Hello and welcome again. No, not working. Take 3. So I pretty much no